Hey guys, this is Nick with PhoneArena, and today we are reviewing the Samsung Galaxy S Advance. What makes the smartphone special is that it has a 1 GHz dual-core processor despite being just a mid-range device. Other than that, its specs are pretty standard. You get a 4-inch Super AMOLED display, front-facing camera, there's a 5-megapixel camera with autofocus and LED flash on the back. It's available with either 8 or 16 GB of onboard storage, which can be expanded further with a micro SD card. Out of the box you get Android 2.3 Gingerbread pre-installed. Just like the Samsung Galaxy Nexus, the S Advance has a curved glass display which is supposed to follow the natural curve of the user's face. The backside is made out of plastic, which thankfully doesn't look too cheap. The back cover sports a fine texture that adds a bit of extra grip and keeps fingerprints away. Also, the smartphone is heavier towards the bottom, which makes it easier to hold and operate with one hand. Overall, the Galaxy S Advance looks pretty good and we're quite satisfied with its design. Underneath the display we have a pretty familiar setup. We see a hardware home button and two capacitive keys on either side for the menu and back functions. The 2-button volume rocker is located on the left side of the device, and the lock key is on the right. All buttons work well and the physical ones respond with an excellent click when pressed. The 4-inch Super AMOLED display in the Samsung Galaxy S Advance has a resolution of 480 by 800 pixels and uses a pentile pixel arrangement. At this resolution, tiny text appears slightly fuzzy but not to the point where it gets annoying. Colors are bright and vivid, and blacks are just as deep as they are on today's AMOLED displays. Also, the display is bright enough to be used comfortably in broad daylight. What runs on the Samsung Galaxy S Advance is Android 2.3.6 Gingerbread customized with the all-familiar TouchWiz 4.0 user interface, and besides a few minor visual tweaks, there's really nothing new to show off here. At this time we have no word as to whether Samsung is planning on updating the Galaxy S Advance to Ice Cream Sandwich, but we hope that an update gets released sooner than later. Inside the smartphone we have a 1 GHz dual-core processor, the NovaThor U8500 by ST Ericsson, paired with 768 MB of RAM, and there is plenty of processing power for a smartphone of this class, and we are happy to say that in 99% of the time the smartphone's performance is as fluid as one would expect, with 30 games such as Temple Run and Frontline Commando running without dropping a frame. We got used to the on-screen virtual keyboard pretty quickly, but even inexperienced users won't require much time to get the hang of it. Of course, when you switch the keyboard to landscape mode, inputting those text messages and long emails becomes even easier. In terms of features, the built-in internet browser on the Samsung Galaxy S Advance has all necessities covered. You get pinch to zoom, tap to zoom, text reflow, and Adobe Flash support. But above all, its performance is well above the average for a device of this class, so looking for an alternative won't be mandatory. Pages load quickly, scrolling is responsive, and Adobe Flash animations don't affect the browser's smoothness. Photos taken with the smartphone's 5-megapixel camera look pretty average. There is enough detail present in the frame, but we notice that photos are underexposed at times. The photo is captured about half a second after you tap the shutter, and it takes even longer when there isn't enough light present. Videos can be captured at 720p, and their quality is good enough as long as you have plenty of light to work with. In the multimedia department we have the usual TouchWiz music player, which isn't the fanciest one out there but gets the job done well, so we cannot complain. Instead of an on-screen widget, we have controls right here in the drop-down notification bar, and in addition music playback can be controlled from the lock screen. With the exception of QuickTime files, the video player handles all popular video formats, including DivX and MPEG-4. Videos of up to 720p resolution run smoothly and look pretty good on the smartphone's display. Both the microphone and the earpiece perform flawlessly. Voices sound loud, clear and natural, which makes having a conversation on the Samsung Galaxy S Advance quite enjoyable. The loudspeaker does not disappoint either, as it is loud enough and does not distort the sound too much even at its loudest level. In terms of battery life, you can expect getting a bit over 7 hours of continuous talk time, which is an average figure. In standby mode, the smartphone should last for at least 3 weeks, and that is pretty good as well. In conclusion, the Samsung Galaxy S Advance has absolutely no major drawbacks, which makes it a great mid-range Android device. We are more than content with its design, the hardware has no troubles handling everyday tasks, and the in-call audio quality is well above the average. If you're looking for a well-priced Android smartphone, we definitely recommend giving it a try. Of course, it's a bit disappointing to see Android 2.3 pre-installed, but we hope that an update to Ice Cream Sandwich will be released eventually. Thank you for watching our review of the Samsung Galaxy S Advance. This is Nick, and if you'd like to check out any of our other smartphone reviews, just visit our website phonearena.com.